After months and months of waiting, and then nearly a 4-month delay, it's finally here. Let me move this out of the way. Welcome back. We are back again for another unboxing, and this time it is another Loco. Technically, this is the second unboxing that I've done of this particular manufacturer's Loco, but unfortunately, the first one had to get sent back. Basically, the sound would work, the lights would work, that would all work fine. It just didn't move. I did do a little short on it just to say, or basically just to ask anyone else if they'd had issues as well. So. And a lot of people were saying it looks like drive holds on. It's like, well, if there's a problem with the motor, then it would look like there was drive hold on. So yeah, I couldn't feel the motor turning or anything like that, or feel any resistance or anything whatsoever. So unfortunately, that has had to be sent back, but I am replacing it, if they can, with an identical item. So, and that was to replace a Hornby Loco. That was, believe it or not. So it'll probably give you a little bit of a clue to what is in here. So, well, what is this? So this is a special edition through Rouse of Sheffield. That's right, it was only Rouse of Sheffield that are selling these. And when I first saw it, this was announced middle of last year, maybe. I can't even remember. But I'm pretty sure, so somebody might be able to correct me on this, that it was supposed to have been released, was it at the beginning of this year? Did it get delayed, or was it just the fact that it was actually, you know, it was now until they've got released and things? Because we are now nearly in September. That's correct. Where's the time going? But before I show you, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed and viewed the videos. And obviously, if you've left a comment, I will get back to you very, very soon. Regarding comments, I've always said now that if I've liked the comment and I've loved it, it means I've usually replied back to you, because it doesn't always come, when I write a reply back, it doesn't always come up with the account or the channel that the comment has come from. So if I've liked it and loved it, it means I've usually replied back to you. And secondly, wouldn't be the same without a good cup of tea. So cheers. Oh, that's good. It's a well-deserved cup of tea. Right, let's get to it. Right, safety first. I will try and undo this a bit more professionally. I don't want to just rip it off just in case it does have to get sent back. Oh, what the heck. It's actually stuck to the end. So please welcome to the incredible Rouse of Sheffield Special Edition Accurascale Class 60. Right, I haven't actually seen this yet, and this is, you see that? That's right, 60033 in the British Steel blue. Oh, this this looks stunning already. Obviously, it's the usual standard Accurascale quality, and this is obviously, because it's a special edition through Rouse of Sheffield, they get their special box as well, just like you would if it was a special edition through Accurascale themselves as well. But this is obviously Rouse of Sheffield, and it's obviously their grey, what they use in their logo as well. Enough about me going on about that. Let's have a look. Oh, this is good. This is good. Right, what do we have? So obviously have the usual. I will go through some of this. I won't go through all of it because I initially was going through it in my previous video. Ready? Are we ready? Oh, look at that. How stunning does that look? Oh wow, this is a beautiful colour. Right, can I remove it without breaking it? Some more stuff that you need to read. This is to do with obviously the switches and the type of controllers. So obviously if you run it in DC mode, you need to make sure the switch is in a certain position. If you're running a non-ESU decoder, You need them in a certain position, and etc. etc. You get the point. You get the point. Look at this. So what you don't know is there will be some nameplates in there, and the name of this loco is T Steel Express. I had to think of it then. We also have, you can actually change the snow plows. So basically these are the ones that don't have a cutout. So it just means that you don't, if you don't want to have a coupling on the end, you put that on there. It's 4 screws. It's 4 screws. Look at this. This is beautiful. This is, oh wow. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to 60033 T Steel Express. You don't want to see this in my hand. You want to see some history or hear some history, and you want to see some of the juicy detail. Right, I'm not going through all the paperwork, but the one I am going through is this, the Class 60 Locomotive Driver's Manual. So let's get started. Obviously the design brief and tender, so the people who tendered for this particular loco. Obviously various pictures and more pictures. Obviously I'm not going to read any of it, so some stunning pictures in fact. So also the codeless rail, DB Schenker as well. Look at that, very early pictures there. And some more writing. And there you go. So as it stands, these are the liveries that are available. So the other one that I have is the Local, and that has actually been sent back to be replaced. So obviously, and this is the one we have here, which is obviously a Rouser Sheffield exclusive. There we go. Right, let's hear some history. Class 60033 started life like all others, as a works number. Ours was originally 935, but later become 919, and wasn't accepted into traffic until the 22nd of February 1991. All Class 60s left the brushworks in the triple grey, and were assigned to a sector. Ours was assigned to the trainload petroleum sector, and our loco's first home was all away in South Wales, Cardiff Canton. Our loco might have been assigned to the petroleum sector, but as you know it would have worked anything from the likes of the infamous 3,000 tonne iron ore trains in and around Port Talbot, to the finished products from steel coils to slabs, and to even taking the high quality coal from the Welsh mountains. As you already know, all Class 60s were given names. Ours was given the name Anthony Ashley Cooper, and wore this name from July 1990 up to June 1997. Anthony Ashley Cooper was born on the 22nd of July 1621 in Wimborne Minster, and died on the 21st of January 1681 at the age of 61. Anthony Ashley Cooper was the eldest son of Sir John Cooper and Anne Ashley, and he lived a very eventful life. He fought for King Charles I and then later for Parliament, was pardoned by King Charles II, became a Lord Councillor, was the first Earl of Shaftesbury, became a reformer, was a part owner of a sugar plantation in Barbados, and was forced to flee to the Netherlands in 1682, where only a year later he passed away. Back to our loco, and 1994 come round and the rail freight side of British Rail was separated into 3 shadow companies, Local, Mainline and Transrail. Our loco was handed over to Transrail, with no real big changes needed, with the petroleum sector branding removed and replaced with the Transrail logo and wording. In 1997 all 3 shadow companies and the Class 60s were now under EWS banner. Only 2 locos were ever painted with these colours, the other being 60006, and this took place in July 1997. A renaming took place on both locos. 60006 was given the name Scunthorpe Ironmaster, with a previous name of Great Gable. 60033 was given the name T Steel Express. Both locos in 2000 unfortunately ended up losing their striking British Steel blue livery in favour for the new owner's house colours, all over silver with chorus symbol and wording. Sadly, only a few years later in November of 2004, 60006 was stored, never to return to traffic, and in January 2020, cutting up of the loco commenced at Ron Hull, Rotherham. Back to our loco, and only a few years later in April 2006, 60033 was withdrawn, being stored at Towton with its final depot being Immingham. And as far as I'm aware, 60033 still resides at Towton to this day, still hanging on to its faded chorus silver livery. Well, where do we start with incredible detail? Let's start at the obvious, the livery, the very stunning, the very well suited, all over British steel blue, which is finished to an incredible high standard with crisp, clean edges making it really stand out. All labels, warning panels and data plaques are all legible. We also have large vents exposing a detailed radiator compartment with an interior light. Moving up to the roof, and we are greeted with a detailed exhaust silencer, all vents, including the scavenger vents, scavenger motor blower vents and also the governor breather vents, along with roof hatches and radiator grills, which are all beautifully crafted. Moving down to the front, and the lines and angles capture the Class 60's appearance perfectly, with wipers, lamp iron, window and window frames, lights, multiple working cover, sprung buffers and plough, all beautifully presented. Now to inside the cabs, and we see a fully detailed interior, from the hot plate, seats, all various levers, from the power lever to train and loco brake to the Accurascale trademark, illuminating dials. Back outside and down to the bogies, and these are lavished in detail just like the rest of the Loco. We have sandboxes and lids, air pipes that run the full length of the bogie framework, springs, dampers, brake rigging and brake shoes, along with steps, are all modelled with precision. Moving in, and we see a detailed fuel tank with gauge and inlet, battery box and isolator switch along with twin air compressors. With this variant of Loco there is no extended fuel tank between the compressors. And what Loco review wouldn't be without a Loco weigh-in. There we go, an eye-watering 816 grams. There we go, what do you think? Looks and sounds amazing, it really does. To get to the decoder, you have to remove that. There you go. It's held on by 4 magnets. there we are. Regarding the weight of the train, obviously it was what, 816 grams or whatever. There is a weight actually within the shell. It's been screwed onto the bottom of the shell underneath here. I did weigh 60007 in load haul from Accurascale. Unfortunately, that has had to be sent back, and I weighed the chassis on its own, and that was 715 grams. So obviously, with the extra weight in the shell, it takes it above 800. I will let you into a little secret. I am speaking to Rouser Sheffield because this has what I believe is a noisy gearbox. So I've already sent them a video, so it's in their hands to whether, you know, if it's something that I could potentially repair at home or it's something that I have to send off to see if they can repair it, or potentially a whole new Loco. So, but it doesn't affect the running of it or whatsoever. So you still got sound, still got lights, and it still runs exceptionally well. It's just a bit of a noisy, what I believe is the noisy gearbox. But you don't want to hear me waffling on. You want to see this in front of a full-length train, and that is what you're going to get. So sit back and relax and enjoy this. There we go. What do you think? Looks and sounds amazing. It really, really does. And the colour on that is phenomenal. It really suits the Class 60. It really does. I don't know if you heard in some of the videos, it is a little bit noisy. It almost sounds like a grasshopper. And it's coming from, by the sounds of it, this end here. I haven't actually spoke to Rouse of Sheffield as of yet. I may well do, just to notify them, because I know what they'll say is either, you know, if you're happy with it, keep it, you know, keep running it, or they can replace it. That's if they have any left, which I'm not too sure about. I checked the bottom of the keeper plates. I didn't physically take them off, and there is oil there that it's being pushed out, because obviously I'm running the Loco in, so it is oiled. But I mean, if it does continue, I may just open her up a little bit just to have a little look inside. Regarding the wagons, so these are Cavalex, and they are also Accurascale, HAAs, HBAs, HF, everything else really. I know there were stages through their lives that they would have run like this, just to complete an utter mixture. But there was a few collieries that couldn't actually accept them under their loading bay, so I think a lot of the canopies had to be taken back off. But I know there were stages where they would have run together like this, and this is what this is. And I think there is 38 here. 38. I've got none in the box. I'm sure it's 38, and if I'm wrong, obviously please correct me. I would like to take it up a little bit to about 40, 42 maybe, because I have got more room in the box for a few more wagons as well. Right, regarding Class 66, that is another Accurascale item, 66717. In charge of some steel wagons. So we've got the BZAs from Bachmann, also ferry wagons, JSAs, decanopied JSAs, ferry wagons. We've got the Revolution Trains wagons. I can't remember the wagon code. And then obviously we got the bogie bolster at the end. And it looks absolutely brilliant. Regarding the Loco, I don't actually know if there is any left at all. But like I say, that is a Rouse of Sheffield exclusive. So, you know, absolutely superb. It really, really is. Regarding the Accurascale, this is my brother's Class 6021, and that was through Accurascale themselves as well. So, and that's absolutely stunning. It really, really is. He's actually done a video on that as well, and that is already out. So yeah, absolutely superb. Would I consider getting another one? I actually have another one on order. I did mention it at the beginning of this video. It is 60007. And that is in load haul livery, but that has had to be sent back to Accurascale themselves, because that's who I got it from. The motor wouldn't move or turn or anything like that, and I couldn't even feel it wanting to turn. So yeah, so that's been sent back, and hopefully for a replacement as well. So I will probably keep you posted about that. I mean, I feel like that I will probably get it replaced if they have any light, but it doesn't affect the performance of it. So, but obviously it's just a little bit noisy. So I mean, I don't know if it's something that will bed in over time. Obviously the more I run it, I'm not too sure. Changing the ends. So here we go. This is one of the ends I've changed already. So we have, all you have is 4 screws. You have 4 screws in there. Obviously if you do need to unscrew it, use a screwdriver that's got a magnetic end. That will help you out loads, I kid you not. Yes, it is a little bit fiddly, but obviously once when you've changed it, you changed it. You don't usually keep swapping them in and out. So I do want to say a massive thank you to everyone who actually commented. Well, everybody who's commented, actually, to be fair. But obviously with my short, I done a short about the Accurascale Class 60007. So thank you to everyone who commented on that, and obviously just giving me a little bit of guidance and everything. So I do appreciate it. So thank you. And I hope the people, so I know there was someone out there, I think he had trouble with the lights on his. So I hope you get all your problems and everything like that sorted out. So I just want to say a massive thank you to my brother for allowing me to run my trains around. These are obviously my wagons, my locos and things like that. But this is his network. That's what that is. This is his network. So thank you, Dan. His links are down below. So and I just would like to say a massive thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed and viewed the videos. And obviously if you want to leave a comment, please feel free, because I'll get back to you very, very soon. And remember, if I've liked it and loved it, it will usually mean I've replied back to you. So thank you so much for watching. See you later.